So today we are going to focus on the digestive system of the frog. If you recall, yesterday we had opened up the ventral side of the frog, and in my tray I now have this torso. It's been pinned down. Uh, During our dissection today, I may decide to remove some of the pins if they're in the way of getting a good shot for our camera. But the digestive system generally starts with the mouth. What's interesting as we open up the mouth of the frog is that the tongue attachment is very different than what one would find in a human. So I'm going to get in under the tongue here, and you can see that the tongue is actually attached toward the front of the mouth, and this will be a more elastic part when the creature is alive. They will snap out this tongue onto an insect or some small mammal, and this tongue will literally throw that material down toward the stomach. Now, once we come down in here, I use my dissecting needle to pull. I'm putting some pressure on this just to expose the stomach right here. And then what I am going to do is just unravel. This comes down to a series of tubes, which are first the small intestines. So I'm pulling on small intestines here. What I'm going to do here is remove something that most of you will find, some fat bodies, these yellow looking tubes. We're just going to remove those fat bodies. They're big, easy to see. But now back to our digestive system. Stomach leads to small intestines, leads to large intestines. And I'm going to remove those parts. So I have a large intestines here, replete with some digested and undigested food. So a lot of this soft material has been pretty well digested. I do have here what look to be like some insect parts. They look quite a bit right here like a wing. Small intestines, not too much going on in there right now, but let's come up here and just see if maybe there is something inside of the stomach. Again, you want to be a little bit careful here about not shooting any juices around. And I'm going to come back to my scalpel for this. This is the stomach. Also, I think you will find it interesting how hard, how tough this muscle tissue is. An involuntary muscle, but muscle tissue nonetheless. I'm going to do a nice slice down the center of this so we can open up that stomach. Some of you will find the last meal in there. Pretty sure this one did have an insect, but it looked like it was far down in the large intestines. And what one can see on the inside of this stomach are these ridges. In biology, increasing surface area to increase chemistry and places where reactions can happen or nutrients can be absorbed or chemicals can be released. There's a lot going on inside of a stomach, and a lot of surface area to increase some of that chemistry and digestion at that part of the system. Now, one last thing I'm going to do, a lot of students like to see brains or want to see the brain. Sort of the disappointing news is you're not going to see a whole lot on a frog. But yes, I am just going to remove the head right now because that will be our focus. I'm going to remove the pins on the torso and just set this torso back in my baggie so that it's not too much in the picture here. This is going to be my last day with the frog, so I'm getting all these things in the baggie. Again, use those microscopes to look at some of those digestive system parts, but we're kind of looking here at the brain. This is a cross section where I cut the head off from the torso, and this is the central nervous system here that I'm poking, and there is some gray material in there, which pretty much is the brain of this organism. Now, what one can do is use a tool or see if this will just split. That's giving some resistance. Probably the best thing again is going to be the scissors, but I'm just going to see what I can do with this scalpel, cutting right between the eyes. You should not bear down on the scalpel. You will break. You will break the blade. But I'm slicing through here. I've worked with a lot of frogs before, and we're just really going to rip that right in half. And again, as I said, there's not that too much to be excited about here, but essentially this is brain tissue right here. And then, of course, a lot of students like to get a look at the eye and the eyeball, which has already been detached. What I can sort of point to with a needle here is a little bit of the optic nerve that was attached into the brain. But this eyeball will come right out. And that's something you can look at under the microscope. You're going to find there's a piece of the eyeball that feels basically like a hard plastic. Have that right here. And again, in class we can discuss anatomy and physiology of eyes. After that, I would clean everything up, get these parts all in my baggie, wipe things down with pink spray, and I hope that you've learned a fair